What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mags. So, of course, Newcastle United took on Everton yesterday down at St James Park. It was a big match for both teams. Obviously, if Everton won, then they would have helped themselves push away from the relegation zone just a little bit. And, of course, if we had won, it would have pushed up into 12th place in the league. Now, the reason for this video today is, of course, you might have guessed it by the title of the video, is will Newcastle United stay up under Eddie Howe? There's quite a few Newcastle fans out there that are still questioning, can Newcastle United stay up? Well, I'm going to try and give you the answers today from my own perspective, my own opinion on the whole situation. So without further ado, if you do like the video, please do hit a like on it, and also feel free to subscribe. There'll be a QR code at the end of the video where you can just scan it with your phone and subscribe. Anyway, enough of that. Let's jump straight into the topic of today's video. So, looking at Newcastle United in the Premier League table, the table will be up on screen for all to see. We currently have played 29 games in the Premier League this season. Of course, not all of them have been under Eddie Howe's tutelage. Of course, 11 of them were under the previous Cabbage, who could not get a single win in 11 games. Since Eddie Howe's came in, we have picked up 7 wins and went from having 5 points to having 31 points. That is absolutely amazing improvement under Eddie Howe. That in itself right there should be building confidence within any Newcastle United fan in the fan base. Right now, looking at the way the results have been going, yes, we haven't had the greatest of result last night down at Goodison Park. It should have been a win for Newcastle United. We should have had a win at Stamford Bridge as well for the effort, or at least a point for the effort that we put in. It was absolutely fantastic performance by Newcastle. But looking at the way, these games have been played as well, look at them in a whole. Look at them with a clear mind is what I'm trying to get at here. Since we played Southampton at St Mary's, the first away game of 4 away games. Yes, 4 away games in a row. The first of 4 away games, and we'll get a 2-1 win against Southampton down at St Mary's. We'll go into the game against Chelsea only 3 days later. 3 days later. The players are still going to be very tired. They're still going to be feeling the impact of travelling down to the south coast for that game. They're still going to be feeling fatigued from playing that game as well. It was a tough game. Newcastle did put in a lot of effort into the games against, of course, teams previous to that as well. And looking at it, we'll go to Stamford Bridge. It's a pretty hostile situation because of the current predicament that is going on in the world right now, in the current situation that is going on right now. Of course, you go down to Stamford Bridge, and we didn't know what to really expect going into that game. But Eddie Howe took the lads, he kept them, in the right mentality, the right frame of mind, and he pushed that team forward. The lads put in an absolute fantastic effort. It was just really, really bad the way the whole situation went down with Kai Havertz not getting sent off for what was an absolute red card situation. Of course, we're seeing him not get the sending off in the game, and then he goes and scores a goal on the 89th minute. We'll move on to the game against Everton. Not even that much longer after, 3 games in 7 days. Any team right now, out there would be feeling that, level of fatigue, that start to feel fatigued, and it will start to take effect on, of course, the players in themselves, 7 days away from their families. 7 days in 3 games is absolutely ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. But now we have the international break. There's a chance for the lads to do what they did back on the 28th of January, where they went out to Saudi Arabia, took on El Ittihad, and of course come away from that game in a friendly win, where we won 2-1 in the game. Now there's a chance for them to do that again. They are doing that again. They're going to go out to Dubai, and they are going to go and do some warm weather training there. They're going to come back. 3rd of April is the next game that we'll play after the international break. It's down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, down in the capital. We have had a bit of luck down there since that stadium has been built. Joe Linton absolutely loves to go and play at that stadium. He really does love to take on Tottenham down in that stadium. He scored there, of course, when we first played them there. And, he's been an absolutely amazing player ever since against them when he's played down there. It'll be even better this time around because he's a completely changed player to what he was under the previous manager, of course, if you want to call him that. But under Eddie Howe, he's absolutely changed completely. He's an absolute tank in the middle of midfield. He just bosses people around right, left and centre. And it's going to be interesting to see what he can do in that game against Tottenham. That's what I'm basically getting at here, lads and lasses. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do. But looking at the games, there's 9 games left. We've got 31 points. So looking at the games, we'll have an away game against Tottenham. Then we've got 3 home games in a row against Wolves, Leicester and Crystal Palace. So you would expect Newcastle to get something out of them games against them 3 teams, be it wins or draws. You would expect something out of them. The game after, of course, the Palace game on the 23rd of April down at theirs at Carrow Road. You would definitely expect Newcastle to come away from that game with all 3 points in the bag. Looking at how Norwich City's played this season, they have been absolutely lacklustre. And for me, they are definitely one of the teams that will be going down. They're currently at this moment in time with 9 games left to play, 17 points out of 29 games. They've lost 20 games this season, only managed to win 4, and they've drew 5. They only really turned it around with their results a little bit since Dean Smith came in, of course, replacing Forkey, but it hasn't really improved that much, as you can tell by them still being down dead bottom in the Premier League. But we'll move on after that game and we'll have a home game against Liverpool. Then, of course, we'll have another away game, and that, of course, is the second last away game of the season, and that is, of course, against Manchester City. You would think by that point in time around the Liverpool-Man City game that we could possibly be mathematically safe by then in the Premier League. I would hope that Newcastle would be mathematically safe by about the time we play the Norwich game. I would say we would be mathematically safe in that game because, that's the 23rd of April. We've got the game against Tottenham, the game against Wolves, game against Leicester, the game against Palace. You would definitely think Newcastle could be mathematically safe by that point in time before we take on Norwich down at theirs at Carrow Road. We finish off the season with the second last game of the season against Arsenal at St James's Park, which is, of course, the last home game of the season. That's on the 15th of May. And then, of course, we finish the season off completely on the 22nd of May when we take on Burnley at Turf Moor, where, of course, it's St James's Park. Then we're the first teams under the Eddie Howe tutelage to, of course, be on the end of a Newcastle United win. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, lads and lasses. But looking at them fixtures, the last 9 games, I really do think we've got a very, very good chance of staying up. All we need is a couple of wins out of them 9 games, and that I would say would be mathematically safe for this season. I mean, literally looking at the Premier League table, you've got Norwich on 17 points at this moment in time with 29 games played. You've got Burnley on 21 points with 27 games played, and you've got Watford on 22 points with 29 games played. And then, of course, you've got Everton in at 17th place with 27 games played and 25 points. Leeds United as well are playing against Wolves tonight. So if they were to win, if Leeds were to win that game, they would push themselves up to 29 points, pushing themselves away from, of course, Everton, who are in at 17th place. And, of course, in my eyes, it looks like it's going to be between Burnley, Watford and Everton on who goes down. But, you know, there's still a chance that Leeds United could be pulled into that. Maybe Brentford as well. But it all depends on, of course, the results, the fixtures as well that are coming up. But I think with our fixtures, we've definitely got a chance of staying up this season, especially, like I say, we've got some really winnable games in there in that 9 games that are left. But I hope that's cleared it up a little bit for you, lads and lasses. If it has, please hit a like on the video. Please scan that QR code as well and subscribe to the channel. Bit of a different video to the other videos that I normally do on the channel, where I do the match preview or the match review or the, you know, just normal club news. I thought I'd do a bit of a different one with the international break, of course, now being here. So hopefully, you know, you have enjoyed it. If you have, please hit a like. And if you want to see some more videos as well, let us know what you want to see down in the comments below, and I'll see if I can get around to doing it on the channel. Till next time, I'll see you all later, and how are the lads?